Good evening once again. I'm Katie Tur in for Brian Williams, who will be back on Monday. Day 1414 of the Trump administration, 26 days since the election was called for Joe Biden, 48 days until Inauguration Day. As the nation prepares to witness a new administration take over, we do remain locked in a grueling battle with the coronavirus, a war that is taking a staggering toll every single day. And the strain of this crisis is pushing our healthcare system ever closer to the breaking point. There have now been more than 14 million confirmed infections in this country. Keep in mind, we crossed the 13 million case mark just last Friday. There were more than 205,000 cases recorded today alone. And so far, more than 2,500 lives have been lost. Tonight, in an interview on CNN, President-elect Joe Biden made it clear how much his approach to the pandemic will differ from President Trump's, starting with actually listening to Dr. Anthony Fauci.
We spoke today at 3 o'clock. My COVID team met with him. I asked him to stay on in the exact same role he's had for the past several presidents. And I asked him to be a chief medical advisor for me as well. We talked about masking. Where the federal government has authority, I'm going to issue a standing order that in federal buildings you have to be masked. And in transportation, interstate transportation, you must be masked in airplanes and buses, et cetera. And the first day I'm inaugurated to say I'm going to ask the public for 100 days to mask.
The first vaccines are expected to be available by the end of the month for people at risk. Biden added that he's willing to be inoculated before his inauguration and on camera. Former presidents Obama, Bush, and Clinton have already said they're willing to do the same to encourage Americans to be vaccinated. Meanwhile, the number of Americans hospitalized with COVID-19 keeps on rising. It is now nearing 101,000, another record. The increasing pressure on critical care services has pushed California to impose new restrictions linked to the number of available ICU beds. There's more on that just ahead. Yet again today, there was nothing about the skyrocketing cases or the pain and the loss caused by this epidemic from outgoing President Donald Trump. His focus remains fixated on his array of false claims that widespread fraud cost him the election, even though his hand-picked Attorney General Bill Barr says he has seen no evidence of that. Those comments have apparently soured relations between Donald Trump and one of his most trusted lieutenants.
Mr. President, can I ask you to respond to the comments by your Attorney General, who indicated he has not seen at this point any evidence of fraud enough to overturn the election results? Given that, why is now not the time to concede?
Well, he hasn't done anything, so he hasn't looked.
Do you still have confidence in Bill Barr?
Ask me that in a number of weeks from now. They should be looking at all of this fraud.
Multiple sources have told NBC News that Trump has not ruled out firing Bill Barr. Also, the Associated Press reports a White House liaison to the Justice Department has been banned from the building after pressuring staffers for election fraud information. And Trump's quest to overturn the election suffered another blow when the Wisconsin Supreme Court tossed out a request to revoke certification of his loss to Joe Biden. We're also learning more about that possible bribery for presidential pardon inquiry revealed earlier this week. Tonight, the New York Times reports that this past summer, the Justice Department, a top fundraiser for Trump, Elliot Broidy, and Jared Kushner's lawyer, Abby Lowell, on the roles they both may have played in a suspected scheme to offer a bribe on behalf of a billionaire real estate developer in exchange for clemency for a tax crimes conviction. The Times says no one has been charged in the inquiry, and Politico has new reporting on the matter of pardons that says Trump is considering preemptively pardoning as many as 20 aides and associates before leaving office. Trump is, quote, eschewing the typical protocol of processing cases through the Justice Department. Those up for clemency include everyone from Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, to several members of his family, all people who have not been charged with a crime. Earlier this evening, Joe Biden was asked about those reports on Trump pardons.
It concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets in how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. Our Justice Department is going to operate independently on those issues, that how to respond to any of that. In terms of the pardons, you're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons. Nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
The president-elect also told CNN tonight that more than a few Republican senators have reached out to him privately to congratulate him on winning the election.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.